Coming up right now, a world-famous comedy club dead serious about banning certain people. We'll tell you about who.
Also coming up, a freaked out influencer discovers a website is selling a life-size version of her.
Ooh, a little bit later on, another influencer is demanding that a luxury car company accommodate her plus-size assets.
It's a little shocking to the eye first thing in the morning. Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
And I am Mitch English.
Hey!
This is Daily Flash. Yeah, here we are. Now, if you're wondering, don't adjust your camera at all. It is spring, and this is my
love it.
It's my yearly spring outfit that I wear the first Friday of spring.
You look super.
Thank
I love
you.
that suit.
Thank you very much.
And your ring matches too. Like everything sort of like
Thank you very
reflects
much.
the purple and the
This
springy.
is my Illuminati ring.
I was going to say, it looks like you're wearing a dollar bill.
It's not Illuminati, but
not.
Yeah, you're gonna get a phone call.
we have fun planned for you. Look right there, everybody. It's Big James. How are
Yes,
you, James?
I'm
Hanging
doing
out with
great,
us.
man. You know, I'm looking at the suit and I'm a little jealous, man. That's like a snow bunny catcher suit.
So, snow bunny? Okay.
Snow bunny catcher.
I like that.
Is that new? I
That's
have not
spring
heard that.
snow bunny catcher. There you go.
Snow bunny catcher.
So, all right, I'll take that. And to my right is Matt Doolittle.
Hello, everybody. How are
Hey!
you? You know what the best way you can find us is? You need to go check us out on all of our socials.
Oh, okay.
Everybody's got a social on here. You got a social. You got a social. You got a social. You can go to dailyflashshow.com, see all of our fun stuff on there, and you can get a hold of us at flash@dailyflashshow.com. Send us what you think of Sweet Baby James over there.
There you go. I like that. Thank you, Matt. Matt, of course, has got some fun stuff. He'll be talking about and where he's been. As well.
New York City.
You too. You guys have been
We're all
busy.
traveling, huh?
Yeah, traveling. How about this? The world's best pizza has just been named.
Okay, is
The
it
top 10 list of the world's best pizza.
okay? So is it like regional, like you New York style? Okay, so the actual like restaurant.
top
Okay.
10 pizzas in the world.
I say Lombardi's up in New York.
I'm with you. That to me is my number one choice.
Okay.
But no, it's Pizzeria de Attilio in Naples.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Well,
okay,
yeah,
that
I mean,
makes
you're going,
sense.
you're going overseas.
Naples.
Naples,
Right.
yeah.
From the source.
The home of the
Listen, Florida has some beautiful places. And
Naples.
Oh, it's a different Naples?
Not Naples, Florida. Naples,
Oh,
Italy.
okay.
Italy.
Oh, okay.
Italy. Pizzeria.
Got to use your hands.
Us. Okay, New York was second on the list for Scars Pizza.
Yeah.
Never heard of
Never
it.
heard of scars.
Yeah, great fact.
It'll leave you. It'll stay with you for the rest of
It
your
will.
life.
On that one.
This one was a shocker to me. Tokyo. Pizza Marumo.
Okay, that's
Tokyo,
interesting. All right.
right?
Okay.
But it's
fourth-
Marumo.
Yeah, fourth on the list, 180G Pizzeria Romano in Rome.
In Rome, 180?
Yeah, 180G Pizzeria. And then number 5 on the list, Sydney, Australia, Bella Bruta.
Okay.
Millie's Pizza in the Pan, Chicago was at 11, and 11th Street Pizza in Miami came in 14th on the list.
Chicago, I would imagine, has a
deep
different deep
dish.
dish. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and if you're Chicago, you like Chicago style. Detroit has their own style.
Yes.
Detroit's
Yes,
Detroit's
we
got
do.
really good one. Green Lantern Pizza.
There you go.
Shout
There
out
you
to
go.
my
Shout
boys.
out, plug.
Now, I grew up in pizza. Y'all
Yes,
know
you
that.
did.
My parents owned pizza restaurants, but we were like in the delivery. But my mom would always try new stuff. And then now gourmet pizzas are all the thing.
Yeah.
And she was doing that back in the late 80s, early 90s.
What do you think makes a good pizza?
It's a sauce.
Oh,
it's because to
really?
me, yeah.
Not the crust.
Not the well, obviously the crust is a big deal
Yeah.
of it, but eventually, those flavors, in my opinion, should, with like the sauce and those things, should overpower it. The crust is just your plate. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I have no problem with like your cauliflower
Crust
or
pizza.
whatever.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate a deep dish. Your faves?
Well, Lombardi's in New York is my number one favorite, but
Toppings?
Toppings. Pete, I usually do pepperoni and black olive.
See, and that's where you and I would be picking off the black olives.
Yeah, I know.
And
How about you?
I am a pepperoni green pepper.
Oh,
and
okay. See, I would be picking up the green
So
pepper.
there we go. So we go half and half.
Half and half.
But I can tell you that pizza, if you want a good looking pizza, pepperoni, black olive, and green pepper. It's just colorful and makes it look nice.
You ever had it?
We do it half and half.
I like
Have you ever had Anthony's pizza?
Anthony's?
Oh,
Anthony's?
the coal-fired.
I'm kidding, because every pizza
It's
place is
totally-
called
Yeah,
No,
Anthony's.
okay.
Ray's.
Ray's Pizza
famous
in New
Ray's,
York.
yeah.
Wait, is it?
Ray's are famous Ray's
Yeah.
and
I'm not-
Ray's, and so you know when that's...
I kid ye nay. I went to Long Island. I met 5 Anthony's in one house.
Oh, yeah, I believe it.
5 Anthony's in one house.
Anthony. All right,
You're
Anthony.
playing
Yeah,
cards.
yeah.
And then, because we're not going to go down the pineapple on pizza.
No,
guys.
we'll
You're
skip
divided.
that.
I'm
I was
okay
gonna
with
ask,
it, but we'll
what were
just
the
leave it at
pizza
that.
no-nos?
It's all part of stand-up comedies, comedians, I guess, riff is these sort of things. And there's one club that is now banning people if you have Botox. I'm not making this up. It's a world-famous comedy club, and it's banning it altogether. It's called the Top Secret Comedy Club, and it's in London. And it's forcing customers to actually prove that their faces... they're not frozen when they approach the entrance. The staff does what these things called expression tests as they check IDs, and they claim it's a way to guarantee everybody who enters can depict how funny or not funny they find a joke. Those tests came after about a number of comics who get up on stage and start seeing all these strange straight faces in the crowd. Now, while Botox might actually make you look younger, it's not going to help you get a seat in this club at all. I think it's a great little... if somebody has performed on stage and does comedy, you kind of gauge the crowd. You know, you get up there and you look and you're like, okay, all right, what kind of crowd am I dealing with? And if you see one with all these blank faces and that they can't laugh, it gets discerning.
Do you really see the expression on their face, or are you just waiting to hear the laughter? Because to me, I'm thinking you're up on stage. Can you really see their faces?
You can find the first two or three, and you know what the
okay.
problem is that you'll hone in. It's a skill I never got to go over. You'll hone in on that one person that just has that
sourpuss.
RBF, the whole time, like they're miserable, and you're like, okay, well now I got to make that person laugh, and then that's something you have to get over. I think it's fun. I can't see them banning somebody just because, but it's something funny. Obviously, it tells everybody else, if you come in here, you got to have a good time. You got to laugh.
But if you got a boob job, front row.
That's true. Very good. No, he got a good point.
Yeah,
Very
very particular about what sort of plastic surgery and enhancements you're getting. So top secret that nobody knew about it until the story came out. So
exactly.
They say imitation is the highest form of flattery, but one woman is not so sure. 31-year-old Kelsey Coetzer says she discovered a website selling a cardboard cutout of her image. She discovered these life-sized versions are being sold for around $80 a piece. Kelsey says the products are listed on a website called Celebrity Cutout, which sells cardboard versions of A-list actors, models, political figures, and influencers. She admits it's kind of funny and said her family even bought one.
Do you remember the Seinfeld episode with Elaine who saw her mannequin that looked just like her? Somebody had to have done that, right?
Yeah.
$10?
Oh, look at
$10. $10.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Hey,
$10.
I see that guy. I see that guy.
I'm Mitch English. Look how tall I am. I like that. Look, you're like, what, 4 feet off the ground to make it your height? I love that.
Right there.
These are great. We keep these in the hallway.
He looks like your son.
He does, actually. That's okay. Guess what? I have my own very own little Matt Doolittle here. Come
Yes.
here. I want to show
there we
everybody
go.
my Matt Doolittle. My Matt Doolittle. My Matt Doolittle is actually life size.
All right, here's my Matt Doolittle. Come here.
Yeah.
This is my Matt Doolittle, everybody. Yeah.
There's your Matt Doolittle.
My Matt Doolittle.
You're Andrea.
It's the weirdest multiverse I've ever seen.
Mine has the most personality, though. That would freak me out, though. If I'm walking along and I go, hey, wait, that's me.
Yeah.
That would be a weird thing,
She
right?
should be complimented, though, because I suppose this is kind of a badge of honor, right? You get a celebrity cutout on this website.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
But, well, there you
Although
are.
somebody's making money off of her image, so maybe
that
she
in mind.
checked a box somewhere she didn't realize on an app she downloaded.
Now, there would be a lot of cardboard for this next lady, right?
So much so you might not get her through the door.
Well, and she's having an issue with this, right?
Yes, a plus-size influencer who requires 2 seats at amusement parks says another big demand. She wants luxury car maker McLaren to make their seats bigger to accommodate her extra-large backside. The 27-year-old detailed her bizarre request in a recent Instagram video. She claims the world is not always accommodating when it comes to her voluptuous body. In the video, you can see her struggle to squeeze herself into a pricey sports car with wing doors. Her self-described 55-inch caboose spills right over the seats. Followers didn't have much sympathy for her video or her request. Good Lord, that's hard to look at.
Those are some things you have to think about when purchasing a vehicle. And, make sure they have airbags. And,
Boy.
and you're not sitting on them.
Yeah, reverse airbags.
And look, we're allowed to say all this stuff because she's putting it out there, and she
Yes.
makes money doing this. And God bless her, poor thing.
I'm willing to help.
And James says he's willing to help.
Baby won't help.
Hands of power.
Oh, mercy.
Oh, bloody hell.
All right, we're going to be talking about going into parenthood coming up here. We also have more of today's trends and tomorrow's stock.
That's right. Stay with us. Don't you move a muscle.
Hey, welcome back to your favorite entertainment show, Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English, and it's time for us to jump into parenthood. All right, if you have a teenage person in your house, those teenage years can actually become a trip when it comes to connecting with your teen. But a trip and even games might actually be what you and the entire family need to bring the family together. Kate Loeth is a contributor for Business Insider. She joins us now with more. Hi there, Kate.
Morning.
Okay, let me ask you. It's so hard to connect with your kids, and sometimes just so that because they always think you're not cool and that sort of thing. But there are some ways that we can connect with our youth, and one of those things is like video games and arcades. Why do you think like these sort of places like arcades are making such a big comeback right now?
I think there's something to do with the nostalgia. Parents really remember these from our youth when we were younger, and kids really like the nostalgia element to it. So there's just something for both of those age groups.
I got, now that video games has made their way into the homes, with your Xbox and your PlayStations, that sort of thing, where we had only the Atari and we usually played the really good games in the arcades. So we kind of, we take it for granted that there used to be this place where we would spend all afternoons pretty much engaged. What is it about that arcade experience that keeps teens just engaged for a while?
There's a wide range of games there now. It's not just, the Tetris and the Pac-Man we remember from our times in arcades, but there's, virtual reality games. And so there's just something really for everything. So I have 3 teenagers, and I find that, they each can find something that they enjoy in an arcade. So it kind of offers a wide breadth of activities for a family.
And there's places like Dave & Buster's and stuff where it's not only just the arcade games, with, video games, but you also have like skee ball and that sort of thing. And those are the things that you always seem to remember when you take a family vacation, because I've always said you should buy memories and not things. Family vacations are often all about creating those lasting memories, but how do arcades really foster a bond between the parents and even their kids?
There's kind of a low stakes competition when you go to an arcade. So you're not like actively competing against someone, even though if you have a kind of a head-to-head battle on a Tetris game, somebody might come out the winner, but you're going to go and play another game afterwards. So it kind of, lets you kind of compete, but there's not a real champion, that comes out at the end.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
There are people that, if you're looking to say, hey, I'm going to go on a trip, what can we do that the kids are like and I can like? How do you families actually start looking to incorporate arcades into their next trip? And what are mainly some of the must-visit locations all across the country that you found?
Yeah, I just put arcade into a map, and a lot of times it'll pull it up. The ones I really like are the ones that are kind of a freestanding arcade that might have a bar with it or a restaurant so that you can, eat pizza and stuff there too. We went to a great one in Monterey, California called High Scores Arcade that was really fun. It had Oregon Trail there, which was kind of amazing. I hadn't played that in decades. So, there's one called Sea Cave that's in New Orleans. That's an underwater theme.
Oh, wow.
And another favorite is Ground Control in Portland, Oregon. It's a really huge facility, has pinball and all sorts of different things.
I think one of the things that parents need to do, and you hit the nail on the head there, it's like, all right, we're going to go somewhere, yada, yada. Let's say, Des Moines. I'll say Des Moines, Iowa. Like, let's find something that the kids are going to like. Arcades is something universally everybody can play and have fun and watch, and there's some skill to it as well. So I can imagine it can really bring the family together. Is it something that, you surprise the kids and say, hey, where do you want to go? Or do you entice them like, hey, I know we're going to Des Moines, but they got this really cool arcade that has yada, yada. Maybe not oversell it. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, a lot of times I keep it in my back pocket. I mean, it's a good activity when you've had kind of a busy day and you want to have an activity at the end, but that's kind of like low key. Um, and it's also good when, let's say it's really hot somewhere that you've been. That's why we went to the Portland one. It was really, really extremely hot the weekend we were there. So it gives you an indoor activity that's, a little bit more relaxing.
Makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much, Kay, for joining us. Now, if you want to find out more about this and find arcades all over the country, of course, you can head to businessinsider.com. We'll have links on our website, dailyflashshow.com. Thank you, Kate.
All right, Mitch, good stuff. Well, check this out. If you are a fan of the HBO hit series White Lotus, this vacation is for you.
Oh, okay.
50 fans will be on a vacation to die for. Four Seasons will be whisking 50 super fans, travelers on an experience all around the globe. The tour begins on a private jet, and each stop will feature a stay at 8 resorts, 3 of which were used as the backdrop for the show. The 20-day getaway will start in Thailand on May 7th. Then it will be on to Italy, and then the tour will wrap up in Hawaii. In addition to the White Lotus stops, Morocco, Mexico City, and the Maldives are part of the itinerary. The cost, if you're interested, $188,000 per person. Extra adventures not included.
And just keep in mind, every episode so far, somebody's died. Or every season. rather.
Yes,
rather.
exactly.
Keep that in mind, too. But yeah, man, I watch these. They say this is the gig to get.
Oh, my
Because they take him out there. And also, Mike White was on Survivor. He invited his Survivor troops as, what do you call it, extras. You'll see him do like cameo spots.
so?
People that were on when he did Survivor, the TV show Survivor.
He's an interesting guy.
Very interesting, yeah.
When I lived in Los Angeles, I did some background work for one of his first projects.
Oh, really?
And I remember thinking, this guy's really interesting. Like, he doesn't quite fit the mold, right?
Right.
He just, he's kind of an actor, but he's also, the huge success that this show has had. It's incredible. But that was 20 years ago.
It took him a while to do that.
It took him this long to get to this point.
Of course, I think School of Rock is really what kind of
Yes.
catapulted him to that. But this is a great show. If you're not watching White Lotus, you got to watch it.
And Banana Republic now has a White Lotus wardrobe option on their website.
Oh, really?
So you can shop White Lotus men and women from the Banana Republic website.
I want to wear whatever Walter Coggins is wearing because he always looks very, very casual.
Looks good, doesn't he?
We have more of today's trends, tomorrow's talk. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Daily Flash.
Hey now, ladies and gents, welcome to Doing It with yours truly, Matt Doolittle. Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, fine men of the country, women of the country, I guess. Well, I have to tell you, friends, it's been quite the adventure the last couple days. Myself and my wife, well, she booked us a little trip up to
New York City.
Yes, my wife put together an amazing trip for us because I just show up and go, yeah, I'll figure it out when I get there, but she spreadsheets everything. So for our 1-year anniversary, we headed up to New York City to see one of my favorite actors of all time, Mr. Doug Ross from ER, Mr. Ryan Bingham from Up in the Air, Mr. Bruce Wayne, he'd like to forget that one, and most notably, Mr. Danny Ocean, George Clooney, and we got to see him do a play about my favorite movie, Good Night and Good Luck, which was kind of exactly the same telling of it, but hey, good enough. Now, I will tell you, George just played Edward R. Morrow as George Clooney. He did his little head clips and all that stuff. It was about an hour and a half. It was at the Garden Theater in the Winter Garden Theater on Broadway, where the seats, you can still hear the shouts of the folks from the streets of New York City. And, New York City's living their lives, carrying on with what's happening outside the world, bringing it inside. But at the end of the day, it was an amazing performance and an amazing trip. Look, New York City is still and always has been an amazing city. Granted, you meet good smell with a bad smell and you go, what did I just step in? But that makes the city so well. It's amazing. Never mind. But it's amazing even after the pandemic, and that's what everyone is out there to look for, even after 5 years post-pandemic. New York is still as alive as it's ever been. The food is amazing. The Mario Brothers are still swapping money with whatever that green thing was with Minnie Mouse, and I saw Spider-Man get in a fight with the penguin from Madagascar. True story. I saw some live broadcasts. It was amazing. And you know what? New York City is always going to be doing it. I swear, watch out for those e-bikes out there, though, because they will clip you in the street.
Check this this out. March is National Sleep Awareness Month, and it turns out sleep isn't just a luxury, it is survival 101.
Right? Well, there's a new Vanderbilt study, and it tracked 47,000 adults and found out that not getting your solid 7 to 9 hours a night can actually bump up your risk of an early checkout by nearly 30%. Your heart, your immune system, even your well-being are all taking notes while you snooze. So yeah, it might be a good time to just stop bragging about how little sleep you get and start cashing in on those Z's.
And with our recent time change, sleep becomes that much harder to manage.
Indeed. Not to worry though, our Daily Flash nutrition expert, Liza Boone from Nelson's, joins us with some easy ways to help us get that shut-eye. What do you got for us, Liza?
Thanks, Mitch. I also have trouble falling asleep and staying asleep, and I've tried a lot of different natural products. Now, there are a lot of them out there, so I narrowed it down to the top 3 that I keep next to my bedside table. First is Rescue Sleep Spray. I almost every night have trouble sleeping because I'm thinking about work I didn't do or how AI is going to take my job someday. My favorite part of this is that Rescue Sleep calms my busy mind and relieves stress without making me drowsy. I still feel like myself when I finally drift off. The next must-have is blue light blocking glasses. They are kind of dark, but they really improve my sleep quality. It takes some getting used to because the colors are different, but I put them on when the sun goes down. Finally, aromatherapy spray. We underestimate our sense of smell. When I use lavender or chamomile essential oils at the same time every night, my mind incorporates the smell into a trigger for sleep.
Oh, okay.
It's really amazing how impactful just a few small changes in your nightly wind down can be. Better sleep tonight makes for a better day tomorrow, am I right?
So
Yes,
true, yes.
absolutely.
These are all easy to use and find. I got rescue and aromatherapy products in a natural food store. So there you go. 3 easy ways to sleep better naturally. Orange light, good smell, and a calm mind. Happy sleeping.
There you go.
Good ideas, Liza. How long do you have to keep the blue blocking glasses on in order for them to be effective?
Well, I put them on when the sun goes down to mimic the natural sunset. And then I leave them on until I fall asleep. Sometimes they stay on my face until I fall asleep.
All right. And it makes anything that helps you sleep a little bit better is going to help you throughout the next day. If you think about
when
that, right?
when Liza was setting up, I could smell lavender, and it immediately calmed me down.
Right?
Yes.
It's all association. So
Yeah.
think about that. Get some rest this month. Thank you there, Liza. Check this out. A 750-pound alligator seized by agents in upstate New York could actually be headed home in Buffalo. Remember this story?
Buffalo!
Albert, the 34-year-old gator.
Yes.
He spent his life being cared for in a lavish home setting, despite the homeowner actually being permitted to own the gator for nearly 30 years in that state. Well, New York now actually has claimed that he actually failed to keep up with the paperwork. Well, late last year, armed agents seized the gator from his domesticated habitat. The owner of the gator filed a complaint with the court, and the county judge actually ruled in his favor. So now the gator is coming home. New York's Department of Environmental Conservation has 30 days to return Albert to his new owner. And you might remember the DEC made headlines late last year after killing Peanut the squirrel. Remember that whole deal? And Fred the raccoon while responding to a neighbor's complaint. So this is a big deal out there.
Yes, absolutely.
Good to see that gator home, though it's not at the same time. We got more Flash coming up.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everybody. I am Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
We are so glad to have you here. And Matt, I know that pretty soon one day you're going to be a dad and you're going to want to go get all the stuff.
Working on it. Working
All
on
right,
it.
you're doing your best. I've got something for
Practice
you.
makes perfect, right?
I'm not sure if your wife would be in for it, but I have found the baby stroller for you. It is Lamborghini. Has come out with a luxury brand stroller
Of course
for
they
your
have.
car.
Right.
Price tag $5,500.
That's it?
It has Italian leather. Of course, has the Lamborghini logo, orange accents. They've only made 500 of these, so you're not. So it's limited
Kim
edition.
Kardashian is about 400.
Oh yeah, right. And basically, it's called the Reef AL Arnacio buggy, and it's got if it actually is safe, who cares?
No.
Because it's Lamborghini,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Looks great.
It's Audi underneath anyway.
Is that right? Exactly. So if you're looking for something,
I'm gonna need to get the cat's Instagram numbers up if I'm gonna get that.
if you got to
Bizkit
get
the
your
Kiki on Instagram.
Kiki, the Insta of what?
Bizkit the Kiki.
Bizkit.
See, that's to me, that's where your problem is. 'Cause I can't remember the damn name for the life of me. You got to come up with something shorter and sweeter than that.
So
the other cat's Charlotte Flair, but that's already taken. So.
and I can remember that because that's a wrestler.
It's a wrestler,
I knew that.
We can shorten it to Charlie
Bizkit
Blair.
the Kiki.
Bizkit the Kiki. And it's
Okay.
spelled Bizkit, like the band.
Again.
Yeah.
I don't. And who named him? Okay.
Me.
When it comes to kids, I want your wife to name the child. All right?
We've already
And then
agreed on a couple.
And then I'll give you the stroller. Okay.
What
Okay.
names have you agreed on?
Raider James Doolittle is going to
Love
be the first
Raider.
one.
Oh, I like
Love
that.
Raider.
Love
Doolittle's
James.
Raider.
Love James.
Yeah, Doolittle's Raider.
That's why-
so
that's
Raider, and
awesome.
then James is.
Oh, I
like
love that.
fake names.
Now you get an A+ for that.
Okay,
You
thank
get an
you.
F for the cat.
Yeah, well.
All right.
I got a C. You know what? I passed.
Oh, Braden gives you a C.
Yeah, no, I passed. C's getting degrees.
It balances out.
C, F, average D.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
A world-famous comedy club is banning people with Botox. The top secret comedy club in London is forcing customers to prove their faces are not frozen when they approach the entrance. The staff does what they call expression tests as they check IDs. They claim it's a way to guarantee everyone who enters can depict how funny or not funny they find a joke. The tests came about after a number of comics complained about all the straight faces in the crowd. While Botox might make you look younger, it won't help you get a seat in this club.
Not at all.
I'll just throw this out here, but maybe the comics who were complaining, maybe they weren't that funny.
That's I'm sure a lot of it.
I'm just gonna say it's a possibility.
Especially
Who
that
are all
English,
these people?
especially that English humor. Like I don't think
Yes.
that maybe that just didn't work.
Well, it's called highbrow, and that's because you
no,
have
there you go.
Botox.
See? Bunch of
Beans on toast.
bunch of
beans
John
on toast.
Olivers up there.
I think this is actually a marketing campaign. I think
Yes.
it's beautiful for the comedy
Yeah.
club to do this, and it's funny as well. I'm certain they would let somebody in that might have had Botox. I would have Botox. I have no issues with it, but I think it's just it sends a signal out saying, "Hey, look, you come in here, you're here to laugh."
Could you imagine one of those judges in England with the white wig and the black robe? Excuse me, madam, you're here because you claim you couldn't get into a comedy club because you've had Botox?
I love it. Love the accent.
I would love if you'd have to prove you had manners before going into a nice restaurant. You know,
There you
like,
go.
You know, maybe the person walks in, you know, you ask them a question and see how they answer it, if they're polite or not.
My question would be, do you really think that socks go with Crocs?
There you go. What kind of restaurants do you go to?
Well, he ain't wearing them today, but I've seen him.
Normally wears.
No, I'm not wearing today.
People wear white socks with black Crocs.
Hey,
like, they don't even blend.
Don't do that. Don't be like that
You
today.
look great with those. I like
Thank
those.
You need to quit hanging out with me, white old men.
Yeah.
We've got more of today's trends, tomorrow's talk. All
Yeah.
that's coming up.
Stay right there.
This is Tim. Tim is all about time. And if you've ever had a chance to look into Tim's cold, dead eyes, you'll see that it's time for you to follow us on social media. Sure, there's 10,000 social sites out there, and we don't have the time to name them all. Seriously, just ask Tim. So take the time to look for Daily Flash TV on your favorite social sites and start following us. That's all the time, Tim. Goodbye.
In this week's Home My Home, we call on our favorite home improvement guy, Gator. He's showing us how to change out an old air vent, fix a toilet handle, and wrap up an extension cord. Hey, Gator.
Hey, this is Gator with a few easy hacks to help you help your home. This is a great question. I was asked this question many times over the last few days. I've shown this before. There's a lot of ways to do this. This is just how I do it, okay? You take your extension cord, you lay it on the ground, and you stretch it all the way out. This one's about 50 feet, okay? You hold one hand like this, you grab the other side of the cord, and you just pull it to you, and you make a little loop, just like this. Pull it to you, make a little loop. It's going to want to lay naturally how it wants to lay. You just keep doing that, pulling it to you, making a little loop. You can do this with your garden hose, your pressure washer hose, your extension cord, just about anything you want, okay? Now, before the electrical roll-up cord police come in here, like I said, there's many ways to do this. This is how I was taught 30 years ago, okay? When you get done rolling it up, you leave a little tail like this, about 2.5 foot long or so. You go around your extension cord with it one time, you pull it through with your hand, tie it just like this at the top, and now you can hang this on anything. When you get ready to use it, you just undo this little tail right here, lay it on the ground, it'll pull straight out, no problem. So there you go. All right, then. Y'all have a good day. Next! I'm gonna talk about air conditioner maintenance at your house for a minute. One of the first things you need to do is make sure you're changing your filter inside on a regular basis every month. That's what you need to do. Some places are different, get dirtier than others. Okay, with that being said, the second thing you need to do is make sure your drain lines are cleaned out for your air conditioner. Just like your vehicle, when your air runs, it builds up condensation. Your vehicle drops water on the ground. Your house air conditioner drops water in the pan. It runs out of a pipe and drains on the outside of your house somewhere. In Florida, this is how it's done. They drain right outside of the house, right on the ground. Simple, okay? Most of the time, this pipe is located outside right next to your unit. Mine is on the other side of the house because my handler is up here in the attic, so the pipe was run right here. But I'm gonna show you how to clean this out. Now, if you've got a brand new AC unit within a few years, or the service guy you use installed one, you might have a safety switch installed that will allow your air conditioner to turn off if it does back up, and most people don't have that. I've got a shop vac that I had from Home Depot about 20 years ago, old Stinger. Here's your hose. Now you find your pipe outside your house, it's dripping water because my air conditioner's on, so you want your air to be on. You stick this pipe, or this hose, right over this pipe, just like this. Turn your shop vac on for about 10 seconds. Now you can see all the stuff running out of there after I have my shop vac running. It cleans all the algae out of the line. If you don't clean your lines out regularly, you might have had one for years and never had a problem. It's gonna be a problem. If you've got a handler inside your house, in a closet or in the attic, it's gonna back up and flood, damage your ceiling, damage your floors, happens all the time. All right then, next! When you're doing paint projects around the house, I'm gonna show you how to step up your paint game. First thing you wanna do, if you got a paint can that's got these white sprayer on here, which most of them do, you wanna grab this and just pull this sprayer right off of here. Then, you wanna get a can of WD-40 with this straw sprayer. You wanna pop this top right off of there. It's got that little gray piece right there. You put that right on top of your paint can. Now you got two different ways to spray, and I'll show you how to do it. So with this lid on here, you got two ways to spray. You can spray here, or you can open up the straw and spray like this. The best thing is it doesn't get any paint on your fingers because the sprayer is so far in front of you. So you can paint just like you would, and it's a lot wider than normal. But the best part is you can open up this straw and get in small areas, and it really puts it on there. As you can see, it works really good out of that straw. Just like that. That's all there is to it. It's going to paint much easier like this. And when you get done, just return your lid back to your WD-40 can, give it a couple sprays. It'll clean the paint right out and be ready for you next time. All right, then. Next! Be sure to catch my home hacks and more right here on the Daily Flash.
As we spring forward, it's time to reset and refresh. Lifestyle editor Joanne Butler joins us with a few of her favorite things. Hey, Joanne.
Hi, thanks for having me. Yeah, with tax season in full swing, scammers are working overtime to steal your personal information and your refunds even at every stage of the tax filing process, even attempting to file fraudulent returns in your name. In fact, 81% of people have reported falling victim to a tax scam, according to the latest LifeLock study. So you really need to be careful, especially with all the AI, this year. So I've partnered with LifeLock to share some easy tips to help you stay safe. First, know that the IRS will never reach out to you via email, text, or social media to request personal or financial info. So if you see anything from the IRS through these methods, it's likely a scam. Next, be careful with tax prep services and make sure your tax preparer has a valid Prepare Tax ID number and is actually authorized to file returns. A service like LifeLock is great because it helps monitor and protect against identity theft. Norton 360 with LifeLock, great, an all-in-one protection for your devices, so online privacy and identity, plus Norton Genie scam protection that uses AI to detect and fight against scams. All of it will alert you and help flag suspicious texts and emails and websites you browse, blocks fraudulent calls, just lots of layers of protection to help you avoid becoming the next scam victim. Next, spring clean all of your passwords, update them, enable multi-factor authentication on your accounts and your devices, and double check your credit reports for signs of ID theft. You know, the key is to stay ahead of scammers before they get you. And it doesn't need to be complicated. Just get it done one fell swoop. Hit lifelock.com or norton.com, two great websites that have a ton of great advice and more ways to stay protected. Now, this time of year is also when you want to make sure everything in your home is up to snuff too, checking fire alarms, smoke detectors. You also want to make sure your power is protected during unexpected outages. I can't tell you how many times, I've been caught. So again, you want to be protected before it gets you. So I'm loving this kit from Jackery. It's their 5,000 plus essential home backup kit. Comes with two 500-watt high-powered solar panels along with a smart transfer switch that just seamlessly integrates into your home's electrical system, letting you generate your own clean power. And unlike traditional gas generators, it's quiet and indoor safe. And whole home systems that require hefty installation, this kit will cover your most needed essentials for half the cost, even during extended outages. So the fridge, the lights, your internet, your computer, just all of it. This is just simple but very powerful, super smart investment to keep you powered, connected, and safe. And that's what it's all about. For more info on this, visit jackery.com. Now, last but not least, check the outside of your home too. Check your roof, give it a once over, check the gutters, check the screens. Sometimes during the winter months, the screens get loosed and you'll be outside hanging out and a screen will fall. So you don't want that to happen. So just give your home a good once over and you'll be good to go. And happy, safe spring.
Dairy brand Puck has launched a heartfelt initiative this Ramadan to support mothers and families in Lebanon. It's a way to help them rebuild their lives through the power of food.
When a food recipe travels without borders, goes to places even the mom herself haven't been to, that's not just food, that's power, that's freedom. Recipe for Change represents a tribute to the unsung heroes of Lebanon, the resilient moms that through the toughest time kept a smile and hope.
إنه فل من هون من لبنان؟ لا، خلقت هون، عشت هون، مدرستي هون، عذابي هون، بس بحس بغصة.
أنا بحياتي مش طالعة من لبنان، مش بارمته، حتى من كفركلة مش طالعة كتير. طبخت تسافر وتسبقني.
هاي رسالة انكتبت بخط ايدها لأمي الله يرحمها، كاتبينها على كرتونة عيلة خسة كلينكس.
Every recipe holds a small piece of Lebanon, a story of it, the background, where it comes from. It is a groundbreaking business model where we actually got these moms, their recipes, their tradition cherished and brought to international menus around the world.
أنا كتير مبسوطة شيف إنه صارت الرسالة بين إيديكم.
أكيد نحن أكيد أكتر وبنيادي أمينة بدك تقولي صارت.
يعني ما بتخيل إنه هالبيجي بالمكونات البسيطة إنه حتصير بالمطاعم برا وهي اسمها حتكون وصفة فيفيان.
هلا صرتي مشهورة.
This isn't charity, it's empowerment. These women aren't receiving aid, they're receiving orders, and they're really turning their struggles into strength. Basically, we transform these book consumers, these moms, into business partners. And not only as a business partner today, but on the long term, bringing their cherished recipes, keeping their tradition alive and values all over the world.
Allegra, a global leader in allergy relief, is collaborating with the live-action film Disney's Snow White. The team shows how fast-acting, non-drowsy Allegra can help turn your allergy season into a fairy tale. Allegra took part in an experience in a Snow White-inspired environment featuring Sneezy and Sleepy. Check it out.
What if Sneezy and Sleepy weren't sneezy or sleepy? Allegra Allergy Relief is here for the premiere of Disney's Snow White, asking guests that very question.
Hi.
Let's see what I got.
I've got to get your deliciously evil advice. What do you think makes Sleepy so sleepy?
Being awake. Being awake is a tiring thing.
It's so cozy in the little cottage. I get it. I can relate. I would do the same.
Oh, if Sneezy wasn't sneezing all the time, I think he'd be chill, man. He'd be the most chill, He wouldn't even carry around a handkerchief, honestly. Wouldn't need it.
If he wasn't sleeping all the time, I mean, going into a lot of different kinds of business. It's a very resourceful chap, but, he's just sort of been sleeping on it for a while. So wait, if Sleepy wasn't sleepy all the time,
He'd be a DJ, I
he
guess.
would be. Yeah, he would be a DJ.
He's
He'd be getting turned up the house
He's
beats.
squandering his talents.
Can I get your best impression of being Sneezy?
Sneezy, I don't know.
I hear you might be a big fan.
A big fan of Allegra? Yeah.
A storybook allergy season is a real no-brainer. See Disney Snow White in theaters March 21st.
With Allegra, you can stop being sneezy without feeling sleepy.
Hello? I'm sleepy. Yeah, we know.
Allegra has 0% brain interference for fast, non-drowsy allergy relief, so you won't be sneezy or sleepy.
Do you know what I'm allergic to?
Maybe not even grumpy. Stop your sneeze and ditch your drowsiness with Allegra. It's a no-brainer. See Disney Snow White in theaters March 21st. Rated PG.
KSA Entertainment is proud to offer programming to the men and women of our military and their families, serving all over the world on AFN, American Forces Network, seen worldwide.
Hey, before we head into the weekend, we like to give you our picks for streaming for the weekend. This is where we tell you something you got to check out on your streaming services. We always start off by AJ. What do you got?
Okay, I kind of thought this would be great for Matt. My pick for the weekend is the Amazon Prime show Up for Auction featuring Disney memorabilia. Here's host Chris Hardwick.
Now, what if I told you I found the largest privately owned Disney-themed collection in existence, and a very prestigious auction house is putting it all up for sale in an incredible and unprecedented 3-day auction in the hopes of making millions?
So this show is crazy because one guy was able to amass all these incredible Disney collectibles, from costumes to cars to vans. I mean, you name it, he had it. And then they combined them all together for one big auction. But it's kind of neat to sort of shop from your home.
One of the biggest collectors out there is John Stamos.
Oh,
He has like the Disneyland sign in his backyard.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wow.
So I think we've all shopped there, but at one time or another. But what's the real story behind the fall of Payless? Well, I found it on a YouTube series, Bright Sun Films, with their piece called Bankrupt, Payless Shoe Source.
For over 60 years, there has been one brand name so ubiquitous as a place to find affordable footwear. It was Payless, a brand which was born as a discount store which sold shoes differently, and one which grew to truly incredible heights. In just a few decades, their presence across the world would stretch over 5,000 stores.
It's a great series on YouTube, and they go into how all these companies became bankrupt because you always think you're the prime company of the world and nothing will ever happen. And then it talks about how they just dissolve because they just get eaten up by the market.
Well, not only that, and then you get investment groups that come in. They do it for tax reasons. They can shut it down. They make more money closing it down. It makes no sense. All right, it's time to go to church. The final season of Righteous Gemstones has a pew wide open for you, and it's now streaming on Max.
Daddy is such a nerd who gets no action. Daddy's Rizless.
Seems pretty cool to me.
Very cool.
When you this age, you got to get it where you can get it. Am I right?
Am I supposed to live the rest of my life in mourning?
Yes!
Billy's baby.
The Gemstone family is back for the 4th and final season. There is no better character on television right now than Baby Billy.
Yes, Baby Billy.
Walton Goggins. Y'all take care. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.